Hey guys, what's up here? Jin with the Otakuology podcast, back with another of our Gotta Read 'em All podcast edition.
A Pokemon adventure.
A Pokemon adventure.
Chapter 5. Onix is on.
And as always, my lovely co-host with the higher voice, Otaku Mike.
I kind of felt that was a little sexual, like Pokemon adventure.
Yeah.
Maybe ASMR-esque. I don't know.
I would agree with that. ASMR-esque. Hey babe.
Yeah.
What you doing? Or what would it be? Hey Misty, I'm Ash. Oh wait, there's not an Ash. Hey Misty, I'm Red, and this is Blue.
Hey, I'm Rash. I'm
oh
Rash.
No. Oh no, not Rash.
This is Pikachu.
What would Gary and Blues be? Garu? Garu? Blairy? Blairy and Rash. Oh my god. Blairy and Rash. Oh my god.
I don't know where we're going with this because there's already a Pokemon porno.
Anyways, we're trying to let everybody fondle the Pokeballs. So, chapter 5, guys.
Hey, will you fondle my Master Balls?
Oh my god. Which, so would you really have 2 Master Balls? Because, usually you only get 1. So,
well, see, I had testicular cancer, so they had to remove one of my balls, and they replaced it with a Master Ball, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. What's the other one? A Pokeball, a Great Ball, or an Ultra Ball?
It's just a regular testicle.
Too much. Now this is making me think like the only way that you can catch a Pokemon, is by sleeping with them.
I really hope. I mean, we do label this as explicit.
Yeah.
For our podcast, I really hope there aren't any children listening. Just gotta
wait till you're 18, okay?
Yeah.
Full disclosure, okay? Well, that just makes me think though, like, do you have to sleep with like a Pokemon to like, catch it now that your ball's a Master Ball? You got to get somebody to play with your Pokeflute, like.
No, you just teabag them, and then you get sucked in.
Oh my god. Well, that would suck in these Pokeballs, because, you can actually see through these ones, and they'd be like, help! Help, I can't see! I can't see! Why is it so dark in here? Oh, would it pinch you every time it opened up to release the Pokemon? And would they get stuck inside of it? And stuck inside of the sack? Or would they come out?
That's a very good question, but I don't want to answer that right now. Let's move into this chapter.
What if Onix was coming out of it and you're like, oh
no! I'm a grower, not a shower.
I feel like you would have to go with the static shock like thing. If you had Pikachu in there and when he came out, he'd be like, I put a shock to your system.
I mean, could you imagine if you had Onix in a Pokeball and it was down in your pants, and then like the Onix just like busted out of your pants?
The worst part would be you could call those your gallstones.
Those are big ass gallstones.
I know. The worst part would be if you had a Gyarados in there. Ow!
Ow is right.
So, anyway, guys, in chapter 6, we will be seeing Gyarados. So, sneak peek, you're welcome.
He shows up at like the very end.
Exactly. Okay, sneak peek.
Which I'm actually wondering if that's just an beginning of chapter 6.
Both.
Both? Okay.
Both. Yeah, it's kind of like the The Dragon Ball Z endings. What next
Okay.
time on Dragon Ball Z? This is what's gonna happen.
So, Chapter 5, Pokemon Adventure. Onix is on. We pick up where we left off last time, where Red was running into the gym, seeing Blue fight. Uh, what did we call them? The Brocklackies,
Yeah, Brolakis.
Brolackies. He's fighting the preliminary opponents to get to Brock,
Yeah,
and we see Blue notices Red, and Red's like, "Oh man, I gotta go like register." So he goes and registers, and we we get this funny scene where we see Red. He's kind of worried, that he's not going to be able to, compete. And so he decides to basically figure out what he wants to do. But I like this scene where the guy, the Berlacki is, he's standing
so
there with his
so
arms
here,
crossed.
so if you go back one panel on the next on
Uh-huh.
the, it says the figures that are in the Pewter City Gym are the gym's finest standing in the way. So I guess it's like the finest or the best people in Pewter City.
Okay. That makes sense. And they're like, you got to beat us before you get to Brock, right?
Yeah,
And so, but I like this scene where you have the guy. He's got his arms crossed. He's got a, a, like a grin on him, and you see, is that
it's a Graveler.
it's Graveler? Graveler. He's got his arms crossed, just like the other guy behind him. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna fuck this guy up." And I like this right here, where like he's like, Red's like, "Okay, come on, let's do this, Pikachu." And he's like, "Pikachu doesn't even listen to me. He's totally healed. He won't even listen to me." He's like, "Well, I don't have a choice. I got to use Poliwhirl and Bulbasaur." And he's like, "We got to do this in one attack, basically, And this trainer is like, we're gonna take this punk out. We're gonna beat him up and
Yes,
you know
take his lunch money.
take his lunch money. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do, um, but I like this scene right here where Red he pulls out Poliwhirl and he's like, okay, we gotta do this in one hit. And Poliwhirl knows Ice Beam, which is pretty cool,
Right.
and he just freezes the Graveler, and I was like, oh, I would have never thought to do that.
Oh yeah, and then if you look at the panel after he freezes him, it looks like he actually kills him because he's like broken up.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like that. Actually, I think he is broken up.
Yeah, like one of his arms is
Oh
flying out.
yeah, there's like chunks of him off of him, and you see the guy. He's like, oh, like in the background, because he like freezes. He freezes the entire Graveler.
Yeah,
I think he did kill. I think you're right. I think he killed Graveler. That's so. That's so.
so
Pokemon just got dark.
so I guess that's why they have paved roads in Pewter City.
I guess
They just
so.
take gravelers around and kill them off. That way they can gravel their sidewalks.
They crush them up and use them as gravel.
Yeah, no, they
But
just kill them there.
Yeah, and then we see Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl is like, we can't. Red's like, we can't afford to, waste our attacks. And you see Poliwhirl. He's very, you can see he's weakened. He's got some sweat droplets going around his face or
Right,
his head. I don't know exactly what you would call that.
his eye holes.
You want to take the next page?
Oh yeah, where Poliwhirl's still fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have Poliwhirl still fighting, and I guess they move on. I would think they move on to the next person.
I think Poliwhirl gets knocked out. I think it is.
Well, he's in the
And then,
next one after that. That's the part that I
true.
question. So
Yeah, that's a little confusing.
At some point, he swaps him.
For Bulbasaur.
Yeah, for Bulbasaur, and the panel says he's only got two of the things, but with the swift water Pokemon and the power fighting grass Pokemon. He's got great balance with his person, which I
Yeah,
assume this is probably Brock talking.
I think so because it shows in one panel Brock is like up in like a viewing room of some kind.
Yeah, like a viewing box.
Yeah, and he's looking at him, and I like this scene where like they're fighting, and Bulbasaur breaks Is it Cubone's bone?
Yeah,
And then we get this scene where Brock is looking down, and there's Onix, Golem, and Geodude. No, not Graveler and Geodude,
yeah.
and they all have their arms crossed except for Onix. Onix doesn't have any arms.
No, but he's like, oh.
He's like, oh, you know.
Which this is actually one of the things that I read. I did a little outside research.
Uh-huh.
You know how in the first couple things where um, we had Charmander and stuff with the spines poking out of his back.
Yeah.
So this is another thing right here. Actually, the Gravelers are levitating, and they're not supposed to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was another thing in the last chapter. It said that there was an error where Pikachu was weak against rock type Pokemon, but I think that was wrong.
He is weak against rock type Pokemon.
Is he? Okay, I can't remember exactly what.
Yeah, Rock and Ground.
I'll have to look and see exactly what it said. It was on the Bulbapedia or Pokemon Friends, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That site.
Bulba friends and friends.
When I was looking at it
Yeah.
to check out. But I like this scene, where Brock is watching Red, and he's like, I finally found a worthy opponent.
Which that begs the differ. Did he think that Blue was a worthy opponent if he's now saying it about Red?
I kind of wonder if maybe he got like a different vibe between the two of them.
Maybe.
Like a different vibe between Blue versus Red,
Yeah.
Because maybe we didn't really see we didn't really see Blue's battle. We only saw like a very, very short snippet of his battle, to be exact,
Right. And we just know that he probably could have taken out the other guys.
Yeah, and we know Brock is a strong Pokemon trainer, He's
because he's known as Brock the Rock.
He has to be to be a gym leader,
Exactly.
They don't just give that position to anybody.
Well, they might.
They might.
But we don't know that. Hey, I got all the same Pokemon type, Oh, well, you're a gym leader then, okay.
And this Brock is quite different than the one in the anime,
He is. He's a lot more shirtless.
Yeah, and he
goes
likes to cross his arms a lot.
He goes off of his character from the video game or from the game a lot better, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because Brock in the game, whenever you first see him, that's what he looks like. His arms are crossed and he's not wearing a shirt.
Yeah, which is odd.
Which I would feel like he should be more like Bruno, which like he should be more muscular and he's not. So I don't.
I mean, I think he looks okay. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just Brock,
Right.
But yeah, he is a lot different than his anime counterpart, to be exact. I mean, he was kind of serious at the beginning of the anime.
Yeah.
But we get the scene where Red is trying to coax Pikachu out to actually fight, and Pikachu doesn't want to fight. And he's like, come on, Poliwhirl and Bulbasaur, they fought and they're all like hurt. So, you gotta
they weren't
do this for me, please. Just do this one time for me. Just fight with me one time, And I like this scene where he's pushing Pikachu to the ring.
Yeah.
And he gets him in the ring, and Pikachu's like kind of like snubbing him and is like, huh, I don't want to fight, know. And we get Brock, he's like, we're gonna do my world famous attack, or what he's like, what happened to your world famous like first attack,
Yeah, Which I mean, I guess he is kind of a little bit of a man of honor because he was going to let him use the first move. It's just Pikachu won't do it.
Yeah, and
So
he rock throws with Onix.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then I like that panel underneath it where it's just Pikachu like running around all the rocks.
yeah. Oh no, I love that one
It's
too.
like ha
He's like,
ha.
it shows him like jumping around. It's like gong gong bong,
Yeah,
And I think does one of them actually hit him,
uh,
and he gets mad.
yeah.
One of the rocks actually
Uh,
hits him on the head.
yeah, it bounces off his head, and it said some of the spectators go, "The Pokemon took the full brunt of that attack. Looks like this is the end." And then he's like,
And I love
"Oh."
when I yeah, Pikachu's like pissed off. And when I turned the page and I started reading, it sees Pikachu like flying forward,
Yeah.
And
You,
Red's like, oh,
you
and
think
then
he's gonna go after Onix and he goes after Red?
yeah, he basically like electrocutes Red, and Brock is like, wait, what? This is what kind of battle is this?
Right. Your ass is mine, Red.
Yeah, and then you see the scene where Red is being chased around by Pikachu, and Brock's like, let's put it into this. And so we have this scene where I didn't. Is this attack in the?
The attack is how it's described isn't. So
He's like, I
it
can
says
create a whirlwind or
it,
tornado.
yeah, it says I'm gonna use my ultimate attack where he uses his own body as a tornado and makes an unresounding stoppable force of shock waves.
Yeah,
And it just says his final strike is Skull Bash.
yeah.
Which I mean,
I
Skull
mean,
Bash
the
is just like a leveled up,
like headbutt.
yeah, headbutt. I mean, that's really all that it is.
I mean, I think this looks. I like the artwork in this. Like the sense of motion that they give Onix is really good.
Yeah,
Like he has like a lot of speed lines going around, and
yeah.
how
I wouldn't have called it a tornado, but he's kind of doing like a freight train thing where he's picking up the speed by twisting his body
yeah,
like a snake, and
yeah,
then
and he is up in the air.
he kind of darts back down at what
Yeah,
he's trying to do to bash it.
and we see Onix going for Pikachu, and Red runs in and basically saves Pikachu.
And
And he's like,
this is where we have the Spearow moment in the anime. Oh,
yeah, this is
Pikachu, I'm so glad you're safe.
yeah. He's like, oh, but I feel like it might have been a lot more emotional in the anime versus in this,
Yeah,
just a little bit, and because Pikachu doesn't necessarily get hurt. Doesn't he get hurt by the Spearows in the anime?
yeah. He was already hurt and then got even more
Yeah,
hurt, and then he got shocked by the thunder or whatever.
but we see the scene where they're each on different sides of the ring, and you see where Onix attacked Pikachu, and he's like, I'm like you said, oh, I'm glad you're okay. Look, it's like you don't have to fight. We don't need to fight this. We can just go, leave. And I like this scene where you can see Pikachu running like his memories of Red through his head, I guess.
Yeah, out of all
It
the
seems
times
like, and
he's been good to him.
yeah, he's been good, nice to him, and we see Brock, and Brock's like, it's time to finish this, And I'm not gonna lie, I love this next scene with Pikachu. And
Charging up,
yeah, he's charging up. He's like, I'm about to kick somebody's ass.
right? Which I
And
wonder.
I don't know,
I
just
wonder if he used like Thunderbolt.
probably I don't. All of his lightning attacks are a little confusing to
Yeah.
figure out which one's which.
Well, it looks like he used like Thunderbolt, and he shot it straight into Onyx's mouth. So I don't.
Yeah. And then Onyx dies. Onyx
Yeah,
gets
Onyx
broken
breaks up.
apart.
Onyx breaks up.
Onyx explodes. And then we get this like, oh my god, what happened? And then Brock's like on his knees, like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. we get Pikachu. He's like,
Ta-da!
ta-da!
Yeah, I love that.
I love that
And we
scene.
have the ref. The ref comes out to say that Ash won.
You mean Red?
Yeah, my bad.
Not Ash, Red.
Yeah,
We're
Rash.
probably gonna make that mistake so many times.
That's true.
Yeah.
Um,
The next, he's like, oh, I got the Boulder badge. The only people that actually get the Boulder badge were Blue and Red, apparently.
right, which that's good.
Nobody.
That's not. Now we finally know that Blue did actually get it too.
Yeah, he's like, thanks, Pikachu. I couldn't have done it without you. Meet Poliwhirl and Bulbasaur. These are your new friends. And he's like, we'd love for you to join us.
Oh no!
What?
Where Red goes to shake his hand, he's like, "Oh yeah," and then once he gets his hand close enough, Pikachu gets that like evil glare in his face, like, "You done fucked up, son."
I know. This Pikachu's such an asshole, and I love it.
And then
I love it.
He kind of does the whole thing like uncles and grandpas. I feel like used to do it all the time in shows where they had the little shock rings.
Yeah, like it's like a buzzer shot,
Yeah,
like the
yeah. And I feel like that's what he kind of did to Red.
Oh no, that is very much like he was like, yeah, we're gonna shock him. Like, he had like a joy buzzer in his hand, but his whole body is technically a joy buzzer.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Pikachu looks really fucking evil in this panel,
right?
And he's like, zzz, and he's like, oh, you see him chasing Red, and Red's like, what the hell did I do to deserve this type of shit,
He's like, now I gotta get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Because Pikachu trying to come get me.
And then this kind of is a beginning to the next chapter, but we see a young girl fighting a Gyarados.
Misty tore up from the floor up, okay?
Yeah, she's fighting a Gyarados, and that's where our chapter ends. With chapter 5.
And and Gyarados is about to use Hydro Pump on Staryu.
Yeah. That's kind of where our chapter ends. So what did you think of this chapter?
I liked it. Yeah. I feel like the gym battles in this are kind of like a joking phase too, though, for the most part, especially in this first book. Until we get farther into it, where the artists and stuff kind of change, or the story writer.
No, I think the writer is consistent.
Is it him or the artist that changed?
The artist changes after Yellow. After Yellow wraps up, the artist changes.
Okay, because I feel like later on, part of the battles get better because it's more than just one chapter.
Yeah, I have noticed that later on there are more chapters for the battles and stuff. So
yeah,
going forward we'll have to see how that is. I hope we get a little bit more in depth with the battles a little bit.
Right.
But I did enjoy this. Like, I enjoyed our first gym battle. I thought it was fun.
Right. Were you sitting there thinking of the round bump? Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, totally. Like, that was playing in my head. I probably should have had it playing in the background while I was reading it.
Right.
But I liked it. It was fun. We got to see Red think on his feet when it came to battling, because we never really have seen him battle.
Yeah, and we got to see why he's kind of like the top.
Yeah,
because I mean, kind of like we've talked about before, like Red is virtually the top through everything. So
yeah,
I mean, that's where it's really good that we do get to see all this kind of starting out stuff and how his Pokemon developed and everything.
I would have liked to have seen how Blue won his battles and gotten to see a little bit of that.
Right.
I know Blue does come back and stuff, but I would love to see the stuff from his perspective.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I like Red's perspective. Red's perspective is completely fine.
Right.
He's the window for our eyes into this world at this moment,
Right.
But I mean, it's cool that he, the adversity he faced, challenges he faced in this, he's able to think on his feet. Luckily, he had Pikachu with him,
Right. And I
uh,
mean, we know that like he had to have beat uh Geodude and Graveler, obviously.
yeah,
That's another thing we missed is we didn't get to see the entire
no,
roster of Pokemon come out that was at Brock's disposal
yeah,
to actually do that. And we don't know what the agreement is. Sometimes they tell you like there's an agreement of you're only using so many Pokemon or whatever.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
um,
I mean, it's almost like a Cliff Notes almost of Pokemon Battle,
yeah.
kind of.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't want to like have it drag out like most battle manga out there. Sometimes, they want to get in, get out. Have you enjoy it, not feel like you're okay. Here we go. Here's another chapter. We're still in this battle, and it's
Right,
chapter
right.
15 or something. I don't know.
Were you not just that encounter, but
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's kind of like we went through like spark notes of it.
Yeah. It was very like Cliff Notes type of thing, but like what we got was good, fast paced, well drawn, very well drawn.
Right,
I love the artist in this book. I think they do the battles very well. Like, you can get a sense of speed. And, it seems
right.
like it's very fast paced. It moves very well.
I like how they play with the element of a full size person versus a chibi versus like um even like less than that,
Yeah.
and kind of in between everything. Because through
Hmm.
most of it, we do see it, and it does look like Ash is like 3 feet tall versus like
You
or
mean red?
Red, yeah, versus like him on the cover and some other stuff where it does look like
Yeah.
he's a full blown teenager.
It's kind of like whenever he gets in like the comedic moments, he turns into the chibi-esque.
Yeah,
He's more rounder in the face. I mean, he does have a round face, but
yeah,
yeah, I liked his interaction with Pikachu was slightly different than in the anime, but this Pikachu seems to have more of an edge to him a little bit, which I kind of like, I like seeing Pikachu be a jerk.
right, and it not die off so fast,
Yeah, because he was a jerk in the anime, but he was
like for one episode.
for like one episode.
So
Yeah,
it's good to know that he kind of has this little streak in him that
he's got like his
could
personality.
disappear or come back at any time.
Yeah.
So,
Pikachu don't take no shit from anybody.
right. Well, so now we have our first of the 8 gym badges.
Yeah,
So we have now got the Pewter City Gym badge, which is
it's kind of
good,
interesting to see that we're gonna get Misty like right after this.
right? And that we're just meeting her. It's not really like them fighting.
Oh, it's not them fighting.
No, I think it's where he just like saves her from the Gyarados.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
because you've been putting the Pokemon on our YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
On top of the picture or whatever, you've been putting the Pokemon that corresponds with the chapter.
Yeah.
So it would be cool now too for you to put, how they do in the video games, where now we have the Pewter City, we have the Boulder badge going forward on all of our YouTube
That's
ones.
that's gonna be a lot.
Just throw it on there and be like, "Hey,
That's gonna
copy it, and
the
just keep going."
the the pictures are kind of already kind of crowded as it is.
Yeah,
I'll probably change the background so when we get to like blue, I'll put blue in the background
yeah,
because it goes from red, blue, green. So
yeah. It
and
still
then
have the little badge on.
maybe I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'll probably change them because the first manga is red, and then the next one's blue. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
red,
it's
red, blue,
technically
and
red
green are
blue.
all kind of put together. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I want to kind of distinguish them a little bit.
Yeah. But it'll
And
still
give it a
come with the
little.
same badges for the whole thing. So
Yeah. And then so we'll see it. But man, we got like how many more chapters to go before we get through this one?
right. Well, the other thing that's really weird, just bringing it up for all of our listeners and everything as well. Um, Out of all the ones I've seen up to yellow or whatever so far, every one of them has a Pokemon name involved. So
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one that hasn't, unless it's like a
We'll have to
twofer.
go through them and see.
Right. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. If you're watching, it would be if you're watching on Spotify or any of our other major platforms, it would be cool for you to check it out on YouTube. Because I do know that we are putting a little Pokemon insignia for the name of the chapter on it as well,
Yeah.
which I think is fucking amazing. And
Yeah, we'll leave a link down to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is called Gotta Read 'Em All.
gonna read them
Uh,
out.
yeah,
Pokemon Adventure.
we've actually started to get a little bit of traction on those videos.
Right.
A little bit, but it's something. We happened to resurrect an old channel and change it. And,
Right.
so we didn't get 100 subscribers over a day. That did not happen.
Maybe we did.
That did not happen.
maybe we did. Maybe that's how it happened.
We just had an old channel that was dormant for a while, and we were like, well, we got to do something with this.
Like the phoenix, it has risen from
Like
the
the phoenix has
ashes.
risen. But yeah, it's interesting because like my next omnibus has blue on the cover.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the start of yellow or not. I'll have to look and see because yellow's on the next cover after that.
I don't think so. I think yellow. I think the first 5 or 6 are red, blue, green, and the last 4 of the 10 are.
I thought red,
yellow.
blue, green were just volumes 1, 2, and 3.
I don't know.
Is that wrong?
It might be. I don't know.
Okay, I'll have to look and see.
Yeah.
But I did just get the last omnibus for Pokemon Adventures recently.
Awesome.
It's smaller than the rest of them.
Right. They could have just stuck those other ones on the back of it. Come on.
It's not. Well, I mean, like, I hope they continue with the omnibuses.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to collect them that way.
That's true.
I don't have to be like, okay, which one comes before what?
That's true.
Which I've been having to ask you, like, okay, which one do I need next?
Right.
When it comes to like the ones after they finish the original adventure run and then they go to other things.
Right. Who comes after that?
Yeah, I like it because it's easy to follow in this one. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
But yeah. If you want to follow us on our YouTube channels, you can. I'll put the links down below. Check out other podcasts that we do. This is just a bonus episode from our main podcast.
I'd say it's
like,
a main
subscribe.
bonus. It's a main bonus. It's a main bonus. Yeah.
A main boner.
Main bonus.
But
it's a main Onix.
The easiest way to help us out is share, leave us reviews,
and ask
5-star ratings.
Ask us questions and put random things. If you remember, like the first event of something that maybe like a good memory when you played Pokemon Blue or Red or whatever or Yellow. I mean, send us a cool little spiel about it. Maybe we'll have a whatever Pokemon Adventure chapter we're on, whatever 6.5 or something like that, and cover some of the little extra fun things that U.S. listeners have told us or let us know, or fun little tidbits of information maybe we missed or didn't see, or something like that.
So we actually do have I don't know if I would call them a super Pokemon fan, but they have been the only person to comment on our YouTube channel
Yeah.
for the Pokemon. Shout out to Simple Minex.
Yeah.
Uh, she has apparently really been enjoying the podcast on our video format
Awesome.
for YouTube, and apparently she got some friends to listen. So thank you for spreading our podcast around, and thanks for listening. That's the best way you can do to help us grow, and
Right. Keep
help
it up.
us, find a new audience. And we're not going to sit here and ask you for money. That's not what we do. We just want to entertain you and spread the love of Pokemon and other
Right.
anime and other manga that we enjoy.
Well, because the only other reason why we would ask you to donate or anything like that is if we were going to be able to give you something of basically equal value in
True.
return. So
That's true.
maybe if we could get some kind of cool Pokemon stickers or.
Well, we would have to see about that. We don't want to get sued.
Etsy.
I don't want to like get the wrath of Nintendo on us.
No, but doing this, we will have to get those the Pokemon trainer cards where it's you and your favorite Pokemon in the background together. We'll have to get that and get a pair of them, and so I have one of me and one of you, and then you have one of me and one of you.
We should get some artwork. We should get Chai B to do some artwork for us.
Yeah,
for the channel.
So, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
So, as always, guys, we'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
See ya.
Bye.